Welcome to Legal Talk, the talk show brought to you by the law firm of O'Donnell, Weiss & Mattei. With offices in the Borough of Pottstown and the Borough of Phoenixville, we can be reached at 610-323-2800 and on the internet at owmlaw.com. My name is Joseph Koury, and with me tonight are Eileen Dautrich, President of the TriCounty Area Chamber of Commerce, and Erica Batdorf, Assistant Borough Manager of the Borough of Pottstown. Today's program is a continuation of last month's program where we did an update as to the Borough of Phoenixville. Today we'll be talking about the Borough of Pottstown and the exciting developments and continuing improvements that are going on there. Why don't we start with a recent topic at the Chamber's Economic Development Luncheon. I was made aware, and maybe our viewers are aware, that the county, Montgomery County, has recently awarded a grant for the completion of the Carousel of Pottstown, which has been a long-standing project that I think we all look forward to seeing completed. Do you have any comments generally about that?
I do. We were fortunate enough to be able to have a panel of 3 county commissioners, but to have one of the Montgomery County commissioners present, we actually presented them with our Legislator of the Year award for recognition of that contribution, which I'll let Erica talk a little bit more about. In addition to their efforts to really streamline economic development for Montgomery County. And they have made some great strides, some reorganization that we wanted to recognize, but that financial contribution to really help 2 projects here in the borough, really help Pottstown become a tourist destination, was worthy of recognizing as well. But Erica.
Sure.
And that ties in, Erica, as I understand it, to the so-called TREC district, which I had read about maybe a year ago, and I'm not sure really where things stand. So perhaps you could explain to our viewers what the TREC district is and give us an update.
Definitely. The TREC district is a tourism and recreation district, and what we had found with Memorial Park and the different other mini parks there, the Carousel, Pottstown, and the Colebrookdale Railroad in general proximity in that area, and also the mini golf, Manatoni Green. We have a mini golf course now that's been completed and running. We realized
it looks quite nice, by the way.
Yes, it does.
I'm ashamed to say, with 2 young kids, I haven't played yet, but one of these days we'll
It's a good
get out.
course.
Yeah. it's hard. It's difficult. But yes, so we looked at that and we said, you know, we have a unique planning tool here. This is the western gateway to Montgomery County. This is right into Pottstown and a recreation district. We have the Pottsgrove Manor there as well. So we put a plan together to market those amenities as active and passive recreation as a package to Montgomery County. And they, in turn, saw that we did need financial support to help funnel that to complete the Carousel Pottstown and also the Colebrookdale Railroad Station in Memorial Park. So both those entities received 2 grants, or 1 grant to the Carousel Pottstown for $250,000 and 1 to the Colebrookdale Preservation Trust for $250,000. So by next year, we will see both those projects go to construction, and let's see them get completed and market those amenities as packages. You know, we want to see people come into town, use our trail system, go to the park for events, use the different amenities, and that synergy there will help drive economic investment into the town. So
Well, that whole part of the borough is a really exciting area, as we know, and I'm sure our viewers can appreciate as well, from the Colebrookdale Railroad, which I know the Chamber has been a big supporter of. I've just rode the Halloween train myself. It was pretty exciting. My kids really got a kick out of it. The active and passive recreation that you mentioned, Erica, through the community college, of course, which is right there, down to the Schuylkill River trail system, the active recreation, I guess you could call it, right there. So that's an exciting development, and I'm really pleased, as I'm sure you guys are, to see this level of cooperation between local and county government and key stakeholders, I guess you could say. Could you add to that, Eileen?
I could. We've worked really hard, I would say, over the last couple of years. And it's been actually an interesting transition only because we've had some new faces into new positions within the community. And that has helped us realize, whatever things might have existed in the past, if they did.
Right.
We're all new to our positions. We all want the community to be successful, and we all realize the opportunity that's going to exist and how much more we're going to be able to get done if we work together. So one of the initiatives, I actually brought props. It's Momentum.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Momentum is a publication that we put out quarterly. There are different partners that are part of the process: the Borough, Montgomery County Community College, Pottstown Area Health and Wellness Foundation, Pottstown Area Industrial Development, Pottstown Downtown Improvement District Authority, Pottstown Memorial Medical Center, Pottstown School District, the Hills School, and the TriCounty Area Chamber of Commerce. And I think that list right there makes a statement. Largest employer, public, world-renowned private school, the community college, all of the key stakeholders in town are coming together. We meet on a quarterly basis to prepare for the quarterly publication. And basically what we're doing is we're trying to talk about the momentum and the positive stories that are happening in Pottstown. We want people to know there are positive things. Sometimes always the negative is going to be the first thing that hits the press or that gets people talking and gossiping, whatever the case may be, and we want to tell the positive story. And this publication gives us a way to do that. So we work together to formulate the stories and pull together the pieces, and then each of our organizations is responsible for distributing it through our own channels. I have a different audience than Erica has access to, and the Hill School obviously has access to parents, alumni. Pottstown Memorial Medical Center has a large employee base. So getting that story out and having people hear the positive, the true, really the things that we want them to continue to tell to others.
Well, I think this is an appropriate time for me to pitch to you, Eileen. If you could tell us the Chamber's motto, which I really think supports a lot of what you just said.
The Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce, we are a regional organization, but we are very focused, obviously, with our headquarters in Pottstown and has been in Pottstown since we've been in existence for 80-plus years. We're building communities, creating connections, and supporting commerce. And really, I think that any of the partners for success that I just listed, that's what we're all about.
A pretty simple statement, but that says a lot. And believe me, I know it takes a lot of work to come up with something like that.
It does.
Erica, let's talk about when you're in the borough, and perhaps you're in the Trek district, but you want to get around town. Talk to us a little bit about possibilities there, other than getting in a car.
Definitely. Pottstown is a compact urban community. We have excellent parks, but we're rather developed, and we're fortunate to have a transit system that helps for the borough residents and visitors to use that. It connects to surrounding townships, and we have that now. We're looking at different connections that we can make to be more multimodal. We have focused on walking and biking in terms of connecting our visitors, our residents, people coming into Pottstown and using our services and amenities, and how to get around more sustainably and sometimes in a more healthy way. So it's very interesting. And one of the key projects that we've been advancing is a Walk and Bike Pottstown project. We have, as people may be familiar, the Schuylkill River Heritage Area has our Schuylkill River Trail, and we have bike lanes on High Street. The school district, again, in the borough, we share contiguous boundaries. We share this geographic area, and why not put together a walking and biking network that helps with our neighborhood school kids get to school and encourage some healthy activity, and also for local businesses and residents to engage with their community. When you walk a community or bike a community, you see it differently.
Absolutely.
You just do. So we have secured substantial funding through the Transportation Alternatives Program. We're in design now, but we're looking to extend that network 9 miles. 9 new miles of bike lanes and walking lanes within the borough, and that'll connect to our different parks, so that'll just make it more accessible for all the different people coming in, and it ties in very nicely with the local tourism initiatives we have going on.
Yeah, it sounds great. Certainly urban biking is, for lack of a better word, a hot topic these days.
Yes.
My brother-in-law, who lives in the Washington, D.C. metro area, actually lives in Northern Virginia, rides his bike to work every day.
It's
Snow or
incredible.
rain,
Yeah.
he's like the postal service.
Talk with him.
And I
That's
do
great.
remember, to expand a
Yeah.
little bit, I do remember hearing you, Erica, speak one time about Pottstown being unique with PART. And if you could maybe talk a little bit about that as well.
Sure. Well, the Pottstown Area Rapid Transit System has been in place, publicly owned since the 1970s. And we operate daily, Monday through Saturday. And we are looking at getting more exposure to some of those connections with multimodal transportation. SEPTA does provide a service into Pottstown, so you can have a connection from Pottstown to Philadelphia and beyond. We serve the local shopping centers and the college and employment centers. So if there's any way we can make additional connections, we're looking at updating our routes within the next few months for the new year, and we're open to doing that. It's a great service. It is funded through several grants, and we help serve senior citizens. You can ride for free in Pennsylvania, 65 and over, and use any transit system that's publicly operated. So it's really an excellent connection. And we also provide ADA service, paratransit service for those with disabilities and that sort of thing. So, there's a lot of great opportunities to get involved there.
It's got to be a workforce development component to that. Eileen?
Yes, we're looking at so many different things, and a lot of people want to talk about development that happens and people coming into a community, especially one like Pottstown that's trying to revitalize, and the financial investment that we want them to make in this community. And it's tools like the transit system and the walk-bike initiative and the activities that exist, within a walking distance of where your office could be located, that need to set us apart from other communities. So it's really kind of making sure that our supporting, not even infrastructure, it's really those things you can't measure very easily, that they exist in the community. Nonprofits, it may be something that somebody doesn't think about, but if those organizations are here and are strong and able to support an employee that you might need to refer at some point in time to get some sort of assistance, you want those services to be here and you want to have a connection to them. So, anything like that, we have tying into the health piece, worksite wellness, initiative that we're trying to do in this community. So there's just little programs and little pieces that help set us apart and really provide that support once the business gets here.
Sure. With that, I think it's time for us to take a word from our sponsors. We'll see you in just a moment.
How would you build the perfect bank? Would you put it close to your home or your work? Would you make it a high-tech wonderland with web banking and 24-hour access? Or a hometown bank with tellers who know your name? If you could build your perfect bank, it might look a lot like National Penn Bank. Convenient branch and ATM locations, innovative technologies for 24-hour access, attentive personal service, and free checking with no minimum balance or monthly account fees. It's all right here at National Penn Bank.
There are many reasons people join AAA and renew their membership year after year. In addition to the peace of mind of emergency roadside service, AAA membership includes expert travel planning, exclusive discounts, and more. AAA members also get exclusive Show Your Card and Save discounts at participating retail merchants and can save money on theme park tickets, luggage, and travel accessories at the East Penn Travel Store. Join today and start taking advantage of all AAA East Penn has to offer. And visit us on the web at www.aaa.com.
Welcome back to Legal Talk, the talk show brought to you by the law firm of O'Donnell, Weiss & Mattei, with offices in Pottstown and Phoenixville. Our phone number is 610-323-2800, and we can be found on the internet at owmlaw.com. Again, my name is Joseph Koury, and with me today are Eileen Dautrich, President of the TriCounty Area Chamber of Commerce, and Erica Batdorf, Assistant Borough Manager, Borough of Pottstown. I almost said Phoenixville there. This is the second half of our program about an update with what's going on in the Borough of Pottstown and its surrounding areas. As I said at the beginning of the program, it's a continuation of our talk show program from last month, which was an update as to the Borough of Phoenixville. But we're here to talk about the great things going on and continuing to go on in the Borough of Pottstown. We had talked about the TREC district and the transportation developments within the borough. And I think at this point we can move on to sustainability efforts, which again is another hot topic, for lack of a better word. And I'm pleased to say, and Erica, I'm sure you'll agree, that
Sure.
the borough and its partners are really at the forefront of this.
Right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about
Sure.
it?
The sustainability plan, again, we're joining in this effort with the Pottstown School District. As we look at walking and biking initiatives and talk about transportation and recreation, you can't help but want to focus on what's our sustainability plan. Put together a strategic plan so that we can look at, the different resources we have, get information from stakeholders in the community about what the borough wants to see and the school district wants to see as sustainability practices moving forward. And then we can take that policy, and we're in the planning now, and we can put together a list of recommendations so that both organizations can move forward with projects, seek grant funding or other types of funding to employ them. And different things that we've discussed already are the conversion to LED lighting, energy resource, saving energy where you can, looking at long-term investments for infrastructure. We have an MS4 program. Stormwater management is a very important aspect of municipal government, and trying to get information out into the public about what you can do about those issues. Education in general, about recycling, about rain gardens and gardening and organic foods and access to quality foods. That kind of information is part of our discussion now. And the sustainability plan will be completed within the next 6 months, and then we'll roll that out. The Montgomery County Planning Commission is assisting us with this effort, and they've been wonderful to work with. When you see these maps and they show you things like the walkability, the different businesses that provide food and where you can walk to go locate that food, and if you can't, you see food deserts. I'm learning a completely new terminology.
Yeah, I had no idea what that means.
Yes, so sustainability is rather broad, but we hope that we'll have some linear direction and some good recommendations to do some good projects moving forward. So.
Well, unlike perhaps our national cohorts, it certainly sounds like at the local level, it's no longer acceptable to kick the can down the road, so to
Correct.
speak. And
Yes.
I think that there's a general perception that sustainability costs a lot, and that may be true in the short run.
Right.
But I think in the long run, the payoff is there. That
Definitely.
we can agree to that. And Eileen, I think a lot of businesses are really attuned to this as well. As a matter of fact, I know they are, being a part of the chamber. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We've had an environmental focus for quite some time. And again, as Erica mentioned, sustainability means different things to different people. So,
True.
on the business side of things, we're trying to always look at what that means to our chamber members and figuring out programs and services that are valuable to them. Sustainability for some companies is just how they will continue to stay in business.
Right.
We happen to be a community and a chamber that is very small business focused. So,
Sure.
Half of our membership is a company that is, 20 or less employees. And it might be family owned, and it might be that the person is planning on retiring. And, sustainability for some people is just how do you keep that business going? So, it's finding those resources, whether they be environmental, whether they're technology and, the changes that have come down the pike for that. Leadership development, all of those things sort of play into that. But we do as well on the environmental side try and stay in touch with what our members' needs are. We're very fortunate. Over the last couple of years, we've held an e-cycling event.
Very familiar with it.
The chamber, obviously, with business members, has people who are going through computers, technological equipment, quite rapidly as technology
It's amazing
changes.
how outdated they become, isn't it?
You buy it today, it's outdated tomorrow. So we've been fortunate to have some sponsors. One key sponsor is Lewis Environmental.
Sure.
He has provided his staff and his assistants to this event for a number of years. We have one day in October chamber members can empty out their closets and bring their electronic devices at no charge to Pottstown Industrial Complex, where we have the trucks ready to go to load up. So, you know, it is providing those services and those access to resources. And what we are trying to do is give the community, actually business professionals, exposure to the community, some behind-the-scenes access, because when they graduate in June, they will go and agree to serve on a nonprofit board of directors. So we're trying to give them that education so that they understand the community. They don't need to repeat services when they go on their nonprofit board. They can provide that education to their fellow board members and really help drive the direction of the nonprofit. While in the class, the participants complete a project on behalf of a local nonprofit organization. Nonprofit may not have the resources, whether they be financial, skill set, or time, obviously is usually the key one. So our leadership class participants, this year's class is 15, which is about average. They come in and spend 10 months working on a project that will then benefit the community. So program I'm very passionate about. Every chamber full-time staff person graduates from the program. Myself graduated in 2000, but as you well know, I directed the program up until 2010, and it's just something that I consider our organization very fortunate to be able to continue to do it to benefit long-term leadership development in this community. So.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's a wonderful program. It really, and Erica, I'm sure you agree, exposes you to so many different areas of our community that you would not otherwise necessarily be aware of, and it encourages you to get involved. And I would encourage our viewers to get involved, whatever that means to our viewers. I still serve on my nonprofit board, as well as other boards, including the chamber. I'm solicitor to the board, as you know. But it's a wonderful program, and it really, leadership development, you can't say enough about it, particularly in a community such as the Borough of Pottstown, and with all the wonderful things we've heard about today, and that we'll continue to hear about.
Right, and I guess, you know, that's a perfect piece. You know, we won't always be here. So, you know, the programs like Pottstown Cares that are starting that process at an early age and really having those students feel a commitment to their community, you know, that's something that we need to continue to foster. One of the projects that the leadership class is working on this year is actually creating an alumni association for us, and I think that will help strengthen the bond that people really feel to continuing to serve. You know, we're very fortunate that someone like you is still serving on your board. We want to make sure those other individuals are and are still staying engaged to really just continue to develop the next generation.
There's that motto again, creating connections. Very good. Well, we're just about out of time, and I want to thank you for viewing our program today, and I want to thank our guests, again, Eileen Dautrich from the TriCounty Chamber of Commerce and Erica Batdorf from the Borough of Pottstown. Tune in next month for another program of Legal Talk, the talk show brought to you by the law firm of O'Donnell, Weiss & Mattei. Thank you.